and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones in the Woo Woo. I am one of three hosts here. I'm Gayle. Hi.
Hi, Gayle. Nice to meet you.
Miracle Maker. And then I have Krista Ducharme. Woohoo! Intuitive healer. Just amazing ball of sparkle over dimensional healing. And then also we have with us today Damaris Samolinski, intuitive healer as well, over there with Ask the Genie. Oh my gosh. How has this week been for you ladies? I'm about ready to go nuts.
Me too. Me too. It's been a lot crazy for me. Crazy.
Has it?
Yeah.
How about you, Krista?
It's been busy and crazy, but I think for me, I just keep watching it. I'm like riding the wave. I ride the wave.
There you go.
So I view it as a very, very water kind of crazy. And so I just am like, all righty, I'm going to ride the wave. I take that surfer dude attitude.
There you go. There you go. I am so glad that today Mercury is going direct and we only have to deal with the residual little steam coming off of everything for the next 7 days. Yeah. And we'll be free for a little while.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Yeah. I think it retrogrades like 3 times or 4 times in the year.
Yeah. Three this year. If I remember, I think I remember reading it was only 3.
Okay, good.
Because last year it was 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay.
Oh. Yeah. Last year was a crazy year.
Well, we all just needed a cup of crazy to go all along with everything else.
Oh, yeah. We definitely needed that cherry on top. All right, ladies. So we've got a hell of a good show coming up today, and the crystal of the week is the crystal that our sponsor came to us about. Sue over at Clax Act Imports was like the hookup for Baltic Amber. She is the hookup for Baltic Amber. Right. And so we definitely want to make sure that you're aware of her as we begin to talk about today's crystal of the week and all of the other stuff that's coming up, because you are going to want bunches of this, like bunches of this.
Can't wait to hear about it.
Yes.
I can't wait myself. But before that, let's kind of like just check in for a second. You know, what have you guys been dealing with over the last few days?
Yeah.
Damaris, you go first.
You go first. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a little background so you guys could understand where I'm coming from. So I lost my mom when I was a little girl, and I grew up with my stepmother and my dad. And so we used to have this power struggle, her and I. She used to tell me what I couldn't do or could do, and I used to fight her back. So we were going back and forth in this power struggle. So, I grew up left, and, through the years, I see myself finding myself in power struggles with different people, but I didn't make the connection. So yesterday, through my meditation, I made the connection. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't healed this part of myself, when I used to have this power struggle with her. So I continue to have power struggles with women. And so now I'm healing it. So, it's so funny because we just went into Cancer. Cancer has to do with the moon and past emotions, past hurt, past things. And it just works. So it's like I'm riding that energy of, healing aspects of myself that perhaps I thought I had healed, but I didn't. So we're always healing something. So very grateful for that I made the connection, and hopefully I won't have any more power struggles.
That's really neat that you were able to get that. For some people, it takes forever.
Where did this come from? Where? Because you always know that the inner child, it's where it starts, the inner healing, the child, or the inner child healing. So I made the connection of that's where it started when I was about 9. And I've been carrying it ever since and not making the connection. So I'm like, why do I keep having power struggles with women, And yesterday I realized why.
Interesting.
Wow.
So I'm working through it, healing it so that I have harmonious relationships from this point forward with strong women. That's what it is. It's strong women. So it's almost like, and it's funny because I'm an 11 life path, right? So 1-1 is a double leader, so to speak, right? So a double leader doesn't want you to tell her what to do. You know, you want to lead. So there comes the struggle. And so sometimes I have to allow other people to lead. I can't be the leader all the time. It gets exhausting too. So I have to sort of like balance that out a little bit.
So here's something I'm going to share with you about leaders and about leadership.
Okay.
So in my experience and my understanding of leadership is in order to be a really good leader and in order to be a great leader, you have to understand how to follow. Yes. You can't just be a leader.
Absolutely.
You have to and as you said, leadership is exhausting.
It's exhausting.
And a really good leader, here's another aspect of a really good leader and a really great leader is they know how to call for help and they know how to delegate and delegate to people's strong suits, not delegate, so here's an example. Gayle is incredible at making sure that all the stuff behind the scenes, right, of Three Crones and the woo-woo work out well, right? Yes. So you wouldn't want to necessarily, yes, and thank you, Gayle. You don't want to delegate, you don't want that to be a me thing. It's not that I'm not good at it. It's not that I wouldn't be good at it. It's just that that's not my strong suit.
It's so funny because there's this thing called the strength test. And it's Clifton strength test, something like that it's called. Yeah. And you go and you take this test, you pay $40 and it gives you 34 strengths. So it gives you your top 5 and then your weakest. And obviously your 5 come easy to you. The weakest points is where we really have to focus. I'm actually going to I only took the 5 top strengths that I have, but I'm going to take the whole test and see what my weaknesses are so that I can work on building those up. So it's funny you should say that because, we have to sort of like balance those weaknesses, I'm learning.
Aren't we all? And that's a good thing.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, totally. I love it.
It's how do I want to put this? When you have the problem that I have in that things tend to come fairly easy to me, right? If I have to work hard for something, I lose interest real fast. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I can I don't mind working hard at something, but if I have to work too hard, it reaches that point where it's like, okay, you know what? This is somebody else's strong suit. And I think a lot of it is because my strong suits are so many people's not strong suits, we'll say. And so for me, and that's been one of the parts, and I think that's what happens when you become so comfortable with what your strengths are, that you just assume everybody knows how to do that.
That's a big pitfall for me.
That is.
So,
me too.
You get the jack of all the trades. Everything comes easy to me with low self-esteem mixed. So obviously you must know how to do this because if I know how to do this, and I'm such an idiot, come on, everybody fucking knows how to do this.
That's right. Right. Hi, my name is Krista. I suffer from that.
Totally. The best polite slap that I ever got with that, and it was a wake up call. It didn't hurt, but it was stunning. Right. Was I was working on graphics for a friend of mine's CD cover.
Right? Sorry. No, that's not Kevin. That's the cat. I'm like, I'm hoping things aren't going to fall down. This could get exciting.
I thought it was Kevin dancing in the background.
So I'm working on graphics with this girlfriend of mine for her CD cover. She's a musician. She also happens to be my hairdresser, right? And she's like asking questions and I'm getting irritated and my edge to my voice was getting sharper and sharper. And she finally stops and she looks at me and she says, "Don't you talk to me like that. If I asked you to mix up your hair color, you would turn your head green."
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Oh, you're so right. This is my sphere of, I know what I'm doing, but your genius is completely valid in a different area. So why am I talking to you like you're stupid because you don't know my expertise?"
100%.
Right. 100. Yep. Totally. Yep.
100%.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. She made a whole difference in my life right there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
All righty. So what do you think we should start with today, Miss Krista?
Oh, in terms of, I always like to know where we're going cosmically, because it just has a tendency to rock and roll with everything else.
You're right. You're right. You ready, Damaris?
I'm ready.
All righty. Let's do this. Woohoo.
All right. I want to start with Cancer, because Cancer, we just went into Cancer, but Mars is going into Cancer, and Mars and Cancer kind of don't mix, because Cancer is such a gentle mother sign and Mars is just a violent war sign. So what does that mean exactly? And it's going to be in there till July 20th. So what does that mean? Mars is aggressive, the Cancer energy is emotional. So sometimes that emotion can get volatile.
I'm going to get violently loving. I can see it now.
I don't know. I always say I always have to bring in the awareness there, because if we're not aware, we're going to react so negatively that it can be violent. If we're aware, we're going to just breathe and sort of like regroup. And react in a positive way. But I don't know. So we might see a lot of people, having a lot of clashes, if you will. And again, it's going to be there till July 20th. So we got to be careful with that. Now, what does Cancer rule? Cancer rules the home. So what if, there's domestic trouble, right? With that energy of the Mars and the Cancer. As I said before, Mars is a warlike planet. It just,
if I may interject.
Sure, please.
As it's summer vacation. Okay. The children are home. All right. Yeah. This is not surprising that this transit, this aspect is going to the first month of summer vacation, because as far as I'm concerned, that happened every year when I was a kid. That first month, Mom was laying down the law. You will not leave your stuff in the living room. You will not leave.
You sound like my stepmother. Oh my God, you're right, Gayle. With these kids also have been sort of like suppressed, right? They've been wearing these masks. Everything has changed for them in school. Now they're home and they probably are full of energy. So it's going to be a power struggle. I believe that. Trust me, I believe that.
So another question though, with this whole power struggle thing, now you have me thinking, the masks and everything.
Yeah.
And people opening up. We're opening up to the possibilities, the opportunities of possible travel, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I'd be wanting to get on a plane.
Seriously.
God.
That there's a lot of people that are not aware, right?
Oh my God, yeah, and so, yeah. Oh boy, strap yourselves in. I have friends who are flight attendants. Y'all, I'm going to be sending you negative Nelly bags. Y'all need those. You need to strap them all over you and throw them at people. Oh, wait, don't throw them at people. But, oh my God, I am
Yeah,
I didn't think about that until just now. And I only because of an experience I had today, which I'll share later.
But I love that you brought up the kids, Gayle. I really love that you brought up the kids, because I'm like, Cancer has to do with home, and so that energy of that, Mars in there, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough throughout practically the whole month of July. So, yeah. So what did people do with the energy of the Mercury retrograde? I always like to ask that question because the retrograde is supposed to be about reflection. What did we change during that time? What came up, right? How are we going to communicate differently since we've been through this retrograde? To me, it's always a learning experience. To me, things always come up. I'm always trying to work on myself to better myself as a human being, to be a better human, to have better relationships, better communication. Communication is key to everything. The retrograde, it brings up a lot of confusion and a lot of things like that, but it's also about how do we communicate? How do we express ourselves? So for me, I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I just became vulnerable on the show right here, talking about my power struggles with my stepmother, and how it's showing up over and over in my life. And I'm like, wait a second, there's a pattern here. So another thing that I want to talk about is the Saturn retrograde, which is going to be all the way till October. To me, Saturn is a planet of karma. It's things from the past, what mistakes you made in the past. Are they going to show up now in front of you in your front door? They're going to knock on your door and say, you did this to me 7 years ago. I'm here. I'm here for payback.
We can do that?
I don't want to do
that.
Saturn is going to knock on your door and be like, I'm here for payback. 7 years ago, you did I'm here for payback. Yeah,
well, honestly, though, that explains some random intrusive thoughts that I've been having. It really does, because I want to walk into a 12-step meeting and introduce somebody to somebody else and just stand back while they kick their ass. Okay, so now go ahead.
Saturn holds nothing back. It's like, I always tell people, right? It's like, we grow up in religion and thinking that God is like the punisher, the one that gives you the reward. It's not God. It's the laws of spirit. It's these planets, it's these energies, right? So the planet Saturn, it holds nothing back. It's keeping track. Believe it. Whatever you did is going to come back, and it's hopefully you learn from it, or you're going to keep repeating the same lessons over and over and over again. Look at my patterns. It's been following me since I was 9, and I didn't recognize it till yesterday. Jesus, I've been in a power struggle my whole life. Gosh, I don't want to do that no more. It's exhausting. It really is.
Yeah, that's true.
And Saturn doesn't want you to cut corners. It doesn't want you to skip a step. It doesn't want you to, it wants you to use your inner compass to do what's right, because we have that inner compass, right? To do what's right. If we don't, we have to face the consequences, good or bad. And so Saturn right now is going to be coming around and showing a lot of people, where they veered off in the wrong direction, so to speak. I had a reading the other day with, I told the girl that, her boyfriend was really off the rails. And I said to her, he needs to be careful. He needs to be careful because of that same energy. And she just texted me yesterday that he was in a major car accident and it's in a coma. So we don't know if he's even going to make it. But, though I consider those things wake-up calls. Hopefully, I've been praying for him that he does come out of it. But we really need to be held accountable and responsible for our own actions and take ownership of our behaviors, and sometimes the behaviors affect other people. So we also have to think about that, So, yeah, it's a lot. And we're going to be seeing a lot of that from here to October. Everybody facing the consequences of their actions, good or bad, like I said. So it's a really tough transit. And then that Mars energy, Jupiter is also going retrograde, right?
Yeah,
but again, we got to think about Jupiter expands everything it touches, right? But what if you're an alcoholic and you're in a negative place? You're going to drink yourself to death. That's what it's going to do. Yeah. So, life, it's, we can't look at just the positive. We have to, the reality is not everybody is vibrating in a positive, from a positive mindset. I don't want to be gloom and doom, but the reality is that not everybody is aware. So we have to just be, aware, hawk, be aware or beware. right? That energy, right? Of Hawk.
Mhm.
That Hawk was giving us a lot of messages.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we're aware, but some people are not, and we just have to become the observer and, just say, oh wow, this person,
Mhm.
has to fix this, or has to balance this. I don't want to say fix, balance is really the better word. But we're gonna be
Or
seeing part of that.
acknowledge.
What was that?
Part of it is they just need to acknowledge. It's not even. I think that's the aspect that people want to skip in these journeys that we have. They want to skip the acknowledgement part, the acknowledgement of this is a lesson. This is an awareness that I need to be aware of, right? They just want to skip that part. Oh yeah, and then we'll go to the next step. But it's in that awareness that's where you find your balance.
And that's where you grow in that awareness.
Yeah. And that's when you can say, as you just, Damaris have shared with everybody, that's when you can say, holy mackerel, this is why this keeps coming up.
Gayle just triggered me too before.
Oh, Gayle. Well.
What were you saying about the kids and the Mars and the cancer?
Yeah.
That's what she used to do to me.
I'm sure. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm sure we could call all our kids on, and they probably would have a similar story.
I know it would be funny.
Here's what's hilarious about that is that we could have a mudslinging jello fight between our women triggers, right? Because you've got, the strong women don't tell me what to do, right? And I've got keep the bitches away from there. They're going to come in here and they're going to screw everything up.
What's yours, Krista?
Well, I have a mix of both in my family. And for me, I'm the oddball because I just kind of look at everybody. I'm like, see, I'm leaving. Now, if my sisters are watching and if my mom's watching, they may all be chiming in on this. But I have a tendency to just look and smile and go, okay, I think I'm just.
So you stay neutral?
Yes, or I try really hard to be neutral, mainly because my experiences are so vastly different than what their life is at that given moment that for me to chime in to say anything, and this is with family members, is really not a place that I feel like I can speak from, with authenticity, where they would understand that really I am trying to relate. Yes, they know that I can sense different things. They know I see different things. However, when you're in that heightened moment of everything, it can be really interesting. My younger sister, Tracy, I do not cook in the same kitchen with her because I'll murder her.
Yeah.
She's awful to cook with. I mean, she's a fantastic cook, but she's just one of those people that she doesn't share a kitchen well. So I clean up when she's done. That makes it easier.
She's gentle. She's got a gentle energy, right, Gayle?
Yeah, but just because a person has a gentle energy does not mean they're not dangerous with a chef knife in their hands. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. And let me tell you, And then my older sister, Maureen, she is somebody. Her life revolves around lists. She's a list person, and I think that's admirable. I love it. She likes her life is organized. She's one of those people. She has a 1 week plan, a 1 month plan, a 1 year plan, a 3 year plan, a 5 year plan, a 10. And for me, I just sit there and I go, wow, to be able to have that much control of your life must be pretty darn amazing.
That's exhausting.
For me, I'm happy when I can be like, okay, honey, You have leave. Let's plan it. Oh, yeah, it
Yeah.
starts next week. All right, let's kind of come up with a rough idea what we want to do, because I don't believe that you're on leave until you're actually.
That's a lot of work, though.
Spoken as a true military brat.
I am like, yeah.
I think that's a lot of work, just like planning so much.
Yeah. But so I think it's taken me a long time to get to that place with people in general, because there is that part of me, that leadership part of me, that those strong suits where I just want to go in and go, okay, I'm taking over.
What was your life path number?
My life path number is 11.
11? Oh, like mine. What was yours, Gayle?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Take into account for the life path number. Because I've seen it where it's like your name and your birthday.
No, it's
just your birth date.
And add it, to a single digit.
Yeah, it's your birth date.
Yeah.
And I'm an 11.
So am I. So we have that leadership thing going on.
Yep. And when I'm not, so here's one of the aspects that people don't understand about numerology is that even though you might have a master number, it can break down still into a single digit.
Oh, of course.
If you don't vibrate at that master and you're vibrating at that single, it is painful.
It is.
I mean, it is physically, it is emotionally. It's like, I think having an elephant sitting on you probably would be less painful.
I agree with you 100%.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Let's see what Gayle's number is.
4.
Ooh. 4 is the teacher, 4 is a teacher, a universal teacher. Yes.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for me to step out of that mode because I'm the weird one that goes, oh, this cool trivial fact about this. And my daughters are like, fucking shut up.
Yeah, it's a universal teacher. The 4. Absolutely.
Oh, I'm sure our kids would have a lot to talk about.
Let's talk about the number. Today's number is 6, right?
Oh, I love 6.
So it has the vibration of that Cancer energy, really, if you ask me.
Because
family. It's like domestic, it's, the nurturer. It's all about, home, the number 6,
Yeah. So you want to know something interesting about the number 6?
Sure, go ahead.
It's the only number I have nowhere in my chart, which means that is one of my life lessons.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, you're the military wife, so you're home all the time, right?
Well, right now, right now. Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe
that's not a prerequisite, by the way.
No, it's not a prerequisite. I am at the moment.
You're filling in that 6 energy.
Oh yeah, I think that it is very full, and I have filled it. The cup it overfloweth now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you pretty much embody the 6. So
yeah. So just it's a really cool, and it's always been my favorite number. That's the other thing, which was really weird. Because of course,
6 is your favorite number?
Yeah, it is.
6 vibrates to the Venus energy. So it's about love and it's about, it's that Venus energy. It's wow. Do you see? It doesn't even take music for her to go dancing, and she doesn't need that.
I don't. I don't need music. No. I hear it up here.
So that energy is all about loving and kindness and nurturing, that's what that energy is today. Here it's raining in New York. I don't know if it's raining over by you guys.
It's raining here too all day. Yeah, all day.
So like when the weather is like this, it's a nice day to be home and cozy and maybe make soup and, put on some covers and watch TV. It's all about the home life, and it feels like it here today.
I really do miss that about the Northeast and the Midwest. We don't get storms like that. We might get monsoons, which is like 2 inches of rain in 20 minutes.
Yikes.
But nothing, literally, you just wove a whole world that I love so much, just watching TV or reading a really good book. hot tea,
Yeah.
hot soup, snuggled up, little drips hitting the window pane.
Yeah.
You know, that's
happening here right now.
Yeah,
I know.
That's how it's been all
get in the car and
day.
drive.
Yep. I mean, I have a sweater on today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that kind of weather.
It is. It's sweater weather. I mean, we went from being, oh my gosh, I'm melting weather, to okay, let's cuddle up again into sweater weather. So, yeah, I always tell people rain is nature's permission to slow down.
And cleansing.
It is. Oh, it's really cleansing. I love the rain. Yeah. So it's something that people may not be aware of, because we have all this planetary craziness, and we have another planetary craziness happening this weekend on Thursday, and that's the full moon, people.
Yeah.
And it's the last super moon of the year. Just as an FYI, it's the close of our super moon season.
What is that going to be in? Do you recall, Damaris?
Is it in Gemini?
I don't.
I believe it's in Gemini.
I didn't look that part.
I believe it is.
Not.
I think you're right, because the moon goes into Gemini today.
Yeah. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
So So this is right now. You know, all that other energy that Damaris was talking about, the lessons, the letting go, or the awareness, becoming an awareness. So if you think that you're having, which is why I'm bringing this up, is you think that there's something that, hey, I have this lesson that keeps happening, and this is why I want, this is what I think it is. Write it all down. Write it as a letter to Grandmother Moon. Then read it to her. You don't have to read it from the rooftop very loudly. Just read it out loud, on Thursday with the full moon. Then you take it and you fold it up. I love folding it. And in a fireproof container, in a safe area that's well ventilated, with a bucket of water. I'm making sure I have all these safety things, right? If you're going to burn it, you want to make sure you know how to put it out. But then you just burn it and let it in. What I love to do when I do this burning ritual of releasing and letting go is I fold it and I'll burn it, and then I watch it as it burns. And if it burns and it blossoms into a flower, I know that's or a butterfly. Then I know that, the transformation, here we go. We're releasing, we're letting go. This is the universe's way of acknowledging it. And then once it's cooled, I'll look to see what's left, and if there are any words left in what I burned. And then for me, I look at that as a message.
I like that. Because sometimes though we think we're letting go and it's still following us.
Yeah.
I thought I let go of stuff, and obviously I didn't, because it became a pattern. So
I think a lot of times we think we've let go of stuff, and we have let go of stuff, and then new stuff happens.
Yeah.
And
then it resurfaces. Yeah. It's like cleaning a drain out. You may think you've got it all, but then you have to go really in there and rooter. I know you're all probably like, where does Krista come up with some of these analogies?
Right. So
funny.
I want to quickly check in with Krista and with me on what was it, because Damaris answered this question that she asked for herself. What is it that you learned from this Mercury retrograde?
Ooh.
You asking me or
no, you answered your question, but we never answered that question.
Gayle, you answer first. I'm going to think a minute.
Okay, so I learned that people mature, but they cannot change their nature. And I learned that nobody's coming to rescue me.
I love that.
I love that.
That's really love that, Gayle. I really
that is my pattern. I get scared or whatever, and I start manipulating to have other people rescue me.
Damsel in distress, are you?
Yeah, you wouldn't think so at all. It's just it's where I go when I'm scared.
Yeah.
I love that though. That
awareness. I like the fact. Yeah, that is a huge thing.
It is.
That's really big. I think for me, so something that just kind of in the last couple of days, that really, it's more like I've relearned or become back into awareness of is the power of I am. Because I've had a few things that like in the last about 24 months, we'll say, that have occurred and happened where I gave my power without realizing, we all do that. We give our power sometimes and we don't realize that we've done it. And it's like,
there goes Hawk.
I've been pulling back my power, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I am in control of me. I am, intelligent, or I am, whatever it might be. You can put I am in the power. You take those words separately, I and am, and it's kind of like, whatever, but you put it together and the power of that with the word that you add to it is just
a positive word, right? Because I am sick is a negative one.
Well, yes, you're right. But for me, it has to be an empowerment.
An empowerment.
And it's something that empowers you in a way that that helps you overcome that fear, that helps you grow, that helps you expand. Anytime we get that fear, like Gayle was just mentioning, and even that frustration from your stepmom, that it's because you're trying to grow. We're growing, and we reach that point. And for me, what happens when I feel like my power's been gone is I've been growing and people are trying to suffocate me. They're trying to stifle me, because you see, you can feel my energy 15 minutes before I arrive. It's just, you're going to know I'm coming. Just know, you'll know I'm coming because you'll feel me.
I love it.
Yeah. So that would be, I think for me, that something that's really happened recently, again, where it was like, is that kapow moment. Kind of like you. Oh, and the other thing with the ants, because I've been fighting ants.
You still? Mine's gone. My ant, they're gone.
Yeah, no, ours came back with a vengeance, but that's okay, because I think
So what was the message?
Is community, and to understand community and strength in numbers.
Nice.
I love it.
So whenever I see ants, I view it as a way of remembering that they work together.
Yes.
And they have a strength that's so much greater than what we think.
Oh my God, they lift 10 times their body weight.
Yeah. And so, they're great teachers. They might be little and they may be small.
That's what I say. That little tiny thing was such a powerful message.
Yeah. So ants and hawks, I'll tell you, pay attention to the animals, people.
Oh,
they
I
have
do
lots
all
of
the time.
messages.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Krista.
Yes. Okay.
You need to get your segment started and go.
Oh, it is Amber. Amber is the crystal of the week. Yay. And I am so excited because, of course, Sue at Class Act Imports, that's essentially what she's all about, is Baltic Amber. Baltic Amber in particular, although she does have South American Amber, she has Caribbean Amber, which are all very different. And you know what? We'll talk to her about that, or you talk to her about that, and she'll explain the differences. Here's why the amber works for everything we're doing and talking about this week is we just had solstice. We had summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere, winter solstice down in the Southern Hemisphere, and the amber is all about sunshine. When amber is present, it radiates the sun. I mean, in the color, it doesn't matter if it's the reds or the greens or the actual amber color in itself. it radiates the sun. It radiates warmth. When you wear it, and I am wearing amber today, I have on an amber necklace, and I have on pretty amber earrings, and I have on an amber bracelet right here. When you wear amber, it is warm. It's warm on the skin. It's warm to touch. You get this, it's a happy stone. And no, it is not really a crystal. It's a resin. It is because it is tree sap that's been hardened. Baltic amber is 60 million to 40 million years old. Whereas the South American amber is only in the 10 million mark. And the Caribbean amber is just approaching the 10 million. Now, the really cool thing about Caribbean amber, just as an FYI, is it glows under a black light. It makes it so it's always it's referred to as blue amber. So it's really kind of funky and really cool.
Okay, so I just had this vision of a geriatric rave.
Oh yeah, it was seriously. So I've actually
so freaking cool.
I actually have had, my mom has had people, my cousin's son comes to Europe, did a couple of semesters here in Europe, and he asked my mom specifically for the Caribbean amber. I'm probably going to get in trouble telling the story, but asked for, in any case, for the Caribbean amber so he can wear it to the dance parties here. Mm-hmm. And because it's all these black lights and stuff, and it glows in the dark, and it's really kind of funky. I'm sure Jen's going to be wearing it when we can start going out to parties and stuff here as well. But it is a wonderful stone to work with the energy that we have going on, because it is healing energy. So yes, it is warm. It is loving. It has healing powers. It brings and opens up our awareness to what is happening, not just around us now, but what has happened in the past. So you remember how Damaris brought up that Saturn is about karmic energy? Well, just think of it this way. If you're wearing Baltic amber and you're working, or amber, and you're working with it, you will find that it's going to help that transition. It might help and assist with the awareness a little bit more. It may actually give you that gentle nudge and that gentle healing that you so need in whatever that situation may be. We all have it. Yeah. I wear it. And today actually was kind of funny. When I was getting ready and getting dressed, because I hadn't looked up what the crystal of the week was. Yesterday just was a bit of a kerfuffle, and my days have been a little bit blurry. But when I realized I got dressed, put on my crystal, and then went down and realized, oh, I'm wearing exactly what I'm supposed to be wearing.
That is so awesome.
Amber. And it's always amazes me how that works.
Yeah.
It is.
You can't make it up.
I ask universe, you cannot make this stuff up.
You can't.
And so it is a grounding one. It helps us to connect with Earth. It helps us to remember that we are here as spiritual beings on an earthly experience. So I always recommend amber when people are on healing journeys, because it is just one of those gentle ones. It helps our solar plexus. And well, one of the things I've been learning about me in particular with my human design and the astrology aspect, that between Joanne, Damaris, and a couple of other people I've been really keying in on, is that for me, where I am and my energy, a solar plexus stone is a handy one to have, because your solar plexus is your powerhouse. Yeah. And sometimes that energy, well, like any power grid in a house, it can short circuit. So,
it's so funny. We've been talking about power, right? Giving it away, or having the power struggle, right?
Yeah,
so today I've been all about power.
Yeah, and think about even now that Jupiter's going into retrograde, and the reason why I think of power with Jupiter is because it is our largest planet in the solar system. That's within our immediate cause and effect, we'll say. And so it is it's a huge power player. And so think about how, it is expanding, right? It expands that awareness, whether it's your awareness, whether it's the karmic awareness, whether it's relationship awareness, whatever it may be, it's doing this expansion. Well, if you're expanding at a rate that's greater than what you're ready to expand at,
not good.
The amber will help, because it will help that solar plexus energy that's yours not short circuit. It will help you find that balance, and so that you can work through what it is that you need to do.
I love that.
So I love amber.
Love it.
And FYI, I'm giving you an insider tip right now.
Let me write it down.
You guys are going to love this. If you're looking for Baltic amber, so the Amber show, which happens in Poland every year, has been moved online, and Sue will be shopping online, and I think she said it's this week or next week. So if you have any special orders for amber, which I think it's this week actually, which kind of even works even better because it's the crystal of the week. Get it into her. Tell her what you're looking for. Because she's going to be having to shop online. They're not doing any in-person shopping again this year. So I'm bummed, because I was been looking forward to going to Poland to go amber shopping, but I'll have to wait a year.
I'm sure you'll find somewhere else to go. You're always visiting different places.
Yes,
but there's something about certain gem and mineral shows, like Tucson. You got to go to Tucson, right?
Yes.
You got to go to Poland for the amber. There's certain things that, you can get them from other places. You could go to a local store that got the original there. But when you walk into one of those crystal shows,
they are
zippers everywhere. Literally, like 30 seconds in, you're tiptoeing, and then you're floating.
I could imagine Krista in there.
Yes. I do. I'm sure that I walk like 100 feet off the ground.
We're gonna have to tether her.
She's flying in there.
I
One
do.
Of those
I have
toddler leashes.
Yes. Yes. And I when I go in, I keep my hands in my pockets. I have to be very good. Well, but I love going. They're so much fun. I do recommend, if anybody has one happening near them. I know for you, Damaris, there'll be one in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And it's not too far from Long Island.
Yeah.
In August. Reach out to Sue. She'll tell you the exact dates.
Yeah.
I will.
That one is for the East Coast. That's, I think, the largest one that they have. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's me and my crystal awareness.
Love
for you guys. I love amber.
Fits in.
Always. And speaking of that, I want to give Sue another shout out here.
Yeah.
Go visit her. Here's her contact information. ClassicImports.com, where you can go through the Facebook group. You can give her a call. You can send her an email. And I want to give you a quick rundown. When you're looking for stuff to buy, consider what the purpose of that piece is for, right? Mm-hmm. So this week is amber, right? If you want to affect what's going into your brain, earrings. You want to affect what's coming out of your heart, necklace, right? If you want to get a little bit more individual, you'll have to look under palmistry, under which fingers are which whatevers. But there are specific reasons why we wear certain jewelry in certain places. And, there's your top 3 right there. This one here, this ring finger, the marriage finger. The reason why it was chosen as the marriage finger is because there is a vein that goes directly from this finger to the heart.
Right.
Yeah.
right? So I just find it fascinating on why we wear certain jewelry we wear and, where we wear it. But definitely reach out to Sue for the amber this week. And also, I want to say congratulations. What are we offering this week, ladies?
A reading with me, tarot.
That's right. Oh, yes.
So, big congratulations to Ms. Paula Tingley. Yay! Damaris will be reaching out to you, or you can reach out to her to set up your appointment to get a reading from Damaris. Last week's winner was Joanne. We've got things set up for tomorrow. So when you guys all get your prizes and stuff like that, put a post in the group. Let us know that it's arrived.
Give us shout out.
Give us feedback about how it went and so on. All righty. So this week, like you just said, Damaris, it all kind of rolls toger, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
It does.
So this week, it's all about your body and the flow of perfect order. Now, when I didn't realize this until I wrote it down today, it sounds like the title of a Harry Potter book, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So I don't know why I said that, because it has nothing to do with what we're talking about today. All right. But here's the thing. What most of us don't realize, although present company accepted, and probably most of the people that are watching this right now, is that when we have a moment of trauma, right? And we do one of those, the quick inspiration of breath, the tension, the other bodily reactions that are happening at a moment of trauma, right? That moment gets locked in our bodies. Mm-hmm. And it, over time, can cause some pretty significant issues. Now, I don't have any hard and fast numbers, but I've known more Catholics who suffered breast cancer than most other religions that I know, people in many other religions. And in my version of the world, that to me is a sign of internalized hatred of being a woman, right? Because your mammary glands are what defines American women, for one thing. That's screwed, but that's so. And that's where all of those tissues are and those glands are that are responsible for getting the toxins and the negative thinking out of your system. Right? So we internalize these thoughts over time. We have moments of trauma over time. And then we get to a certain age when, usually after 49, hello, Crones, right? Because at the age of 49, your cells have been replicated and replaced 7 times, right? So at that point in time, we start recognizing that these things that have been planted in us and have festered over the years, we don't have the same youthful resilience to be able to fight off their impacts that we used to have. And they start taking hold, right? They start taking hold in aches and pains and foggy brains and fluffy middles that the grandbabies love, but the grandpa don't.
Hey, wait, the grandma, well, I'm not a grandmother, so I'm not loving that fluffy middle thing going.
Right? So here's the thing. There are a lot of different stones and a lot of energy techniques that you can use to literally disintegrate and melt away all of those spurs, if you will, that are living inside of your body, whether it's in your middle, whether it's around your heart. Have you ever noticed different body styles? If you look at people's different body styles, you can generally tell, very vaguely, but generally tell what their trauma was. All right. Women that have very thick hips and lower area are usually trying to protect their genitals. Women that carry their weight, not breasts, around their heart, trying to protect their heart. Very, very sensitive. People watch. See if I'm right. All right.
Yeah.
Now, the point that I need to come back to really is the fact that we have so many different ways that we can melt this stuff away. Use them. Amber is absolutely phenomenal, not just for the reasons that Krista detailed, but in addition to that, I've seen scientific studies that the warmth of your body interacts with the material of the amber, the resin itself. And what rubs off because of that heat being applied to it is an analgesic. Okay. You're essentially wearing aspirin, right? And it will help take care of a lot of the little aches and pains that you have right now. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. See your doctor before doing anything, because they need their $30 for the office fee. But
yeah, essentially.
Be smart about it, Be smart about it. If you start working with crystals and you start feeling really, really, really good, but you've been on Prozac for 3 years, don't quit your Prozac without checking in with your doctor. That's real. That's real.
That's really real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't make those decisions on your own.
Yeah. Psychotropic drugs, just as you have to wean yourself off of. You can't go cold turkey. No cold turkey psychotropic.
No. Exactly.
No.
No. But see,
it could be detrimental for everybody around them.
Yeah.
Exactly. So here's the thing. As you start working on more and more of these things that help you feel better about your body, about yourself, about your life, right? You will find a better flow of power. You will find your body loves life more, right? And you will find that the world around you tends to flow as well, right? Now, again, kind of wrap this back to that amber, because what did Krista say that amber is? It's not a crystal. It's not a rock. It's a resin. It's tree sap that began its existence as flow.
Yep.
How old?
40 million, 60
40
million.
to 60 million. 60 million to 40 million is the way, or no, yeah. In any case, it's 60 to 40 million years old is Baltic amber.
Yeah.
And Baltic amber is really good for you. It has, and you can put it in your face creams. So ladies, you want to know, that I will do a video and explain that, because that takes a whole, I'll do a video.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, do a video.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So again, back into all of this. Right now, we are in a period of time where it becomes absolutely integral to be in your flow as much as possible, right? Support your body. Give it the healthy fruits and vegetables and good high protein, low fat meats that it's craving. I'll give it a little bit of extra chocolate too while you're at it, because it always helps.
Always. Really good chocolate too.
Dark chocolate, right?
Dark. Yep. Dark. And not that Hershey crap. Sorry. Sorry, Hershey. I love you. Yeah. You make great s'mores.
Yeah. So, keep your body moving. Keep your body in its flow, right? And stay grounded. Yes, like that. Happy dance for no reason, right? And stay grounded.
Gosh,
because
so funny.
We've got a long summer ahead of us. Some of you are home with kids that you just got them back to school after homeschooling them for months. You got all kinds of stuff going on. You got your own focus to do. You got your own, dealings with Saturn retrograde and so on to deal with. be kind to yourself. Give yourself the support you need, whether it's Amber, whether it's food, whether it's exercise, whether it's just hanging out with a couple of good girlfriends and laughing your ass off for an hour with us.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday, you always have an appointment.
Tuesday.
Always having an invite.
Yeah. Standing invite. Absolutely. So, and as you do this, as you stay in that flow, I want you to remind yourself just one word: sparkle. Sparkle. There you are, sparkle. All right, so that be it. All right, ladies, I want to make sure that everybody knows, and thank you all so much for watching us today. This has been a great show.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for being here, everybody. All right, so make sure that you visit Sue over at Class Act Imports. And much thank you to Krista at Dimensional Healing on Facebook. And as well to Damaris at The Genie with Damaris Samolinski, and Creative Command Coaching and Consulting with yours truly. Now, remember, like, comment, and share this broadcast to be included in this week's drawing. And I do believe you're up, Krista. What you going to offer for next week?
You know what? I'm going to do another crystal reading. I had so much fun doing the last one.
Gosh.
Yeah,
I'm going to do
another. Yes, I'm going to do another crystal reading for the winner. So I'm wicked stoked.
Awesome. Wicked stoked. All right, so you know the drill. Like, comment, and share to be included in that drawing for one of Krista's crystal readings. And have an absolutely phenomenal week ahead. Love you guys. See you. Bye.
Bye.